Today I'm in southern Thailand to film a very unique species, Betta pallida. This is a very poorly documented species from southern Thailand. I looked online, I couldn't find a single photo or video of them in the wild. All the content that I was able to find was in captivity, so today I'm going to be showing you for the first time ever Betta pallida in its native habitat in Thailand. I've rented a little moped to get around Suratthani province where you can find this very unique species. So without further ado, let's get on the road, get on this bike, head down to the river and find this very unique species. Okay, so here you have it, Betta pallida native habitat. I've been looking extensively through southern Thailand, looking for Betta species, and this is the only river where I managed to find Betta pallida. And this is a hill stream with little to no flow. It's the peak of the rainy season. It's been raining every day, and yet there's hardly any water in here. There's not many plants in the water, just a few marginal plants where the bettas are hiding. And there's a few other species like Danios, Rasboras, Barbs, so snakeheads, so I'll include some of those. I don't know what the water parameters are. I didn't bring my testing kit. So yeah, without any further ado, I'm gonna stick the camera in the water, film some of the bettas and some of the other fish in this river. I would like to say this is a pristine river in the jungle, like, you know, like I usually show you, but it's not. This area is getting massively developed. You can probably hear the pumps in the back for farming, for construction. There's a lot of houses being built here. So I'm assuming they're using a lot of the water for the cement. And yeah, the river is not looking great. There's rubbish everywhere. The water is white. It's not great, but it's the only place where I've managed to find it. So probably one of the few videos, if not the only video of Betta pallida in the wild. So yeah, like I said, this is where you can find them in these sort of marginal plants. I don't know what they are. There's also some fallen bamboo on the side. And this is where I found bettas previously. So I'm going to stick the camera just under the vegetation, and I should be able to get a few specimens. So I had the camera running for a while. It's time to check if we got any bettas. I'm pretty sure we did, because this location was quite good last time, so let's have a look. Yeah, here it is. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. I don't think you'll be able to see it from that little camera. So my strategy here was to place the camera underwater, pointing at those submerged plants and tangled roots, because that's exactly where Betta pallida prefers to hide. Bettas are shy fish. They stay hidden most of the time to avoid predators, and dense vegetation gives them the perfect cover. The water was shallow, around 20 to 50 centimeters deep, somewhat clear with leaf litter, marginal plants, and hardly any flow. The very first fish that appeared were these very energetic Danio albolineatus. These are actually very popular in the aquarium hobby, and you might have heard of them by their common name, pearl Danio. Maybe you even kept some of these before. Let me know in the comments if you did. They are hardy, peaceful, schooling fish reaching around 6 centimeters long. They school in the upper water column, hunting tiny insects. You are most likely to find them in shallow streams with moderate flow. Here I watched them display some of their natural behaviors. The males were sparring each other in tight circular dances. In my videos I always try my best not to disturb the wildlife, so that we can watch their natural behaviors. And then, finally, I got our first Betta pallida specimens on camera. This might be the only footage of Betta pallida in the wild available online. As the name suggests, they are very pale. Maybe not as flashy as other Betta species, but still interesting from an ecology standpoint. These guys don't build bubble nests like the popular Betta splendens. They are mouth brooders. The males carry eggs and fry in their mouth until they are ready to swim. Sexing them is a bit trickier in this Betta species, but the head morphology and the fin shape can help you telling them apart. Males have broader heads to carry the fry, the fins have more iridescent scales and are slightly longer. To me, females look almost identical to the Betta prima females from one of my last videos. If you haven't watched that already, maybe give it a watch after this one. They also look a lot like wild female Betta splendens, which I also covered on this channel. This seems to be the case for a lot of Betta species. Those dark horizontal stripes seem to always be present in the wild female Bettas. The males though, they seem to turn those stripes on and off more often. Here you can see a male go from completely pale to having bold stripes as he approaches another Betta, maybe another male. The pattern can vary depending on mood and situation. It's an effective adaptation. The stripes help them blend into the background when other fish swim by, maybe potential predators. In fact, you will notice most fish species in this habitat have dark stripes or spots as well. They are pretty tiny, growing to about 4 centimeters long. You could keep a pair or even a small group in a 15-gallon tank if you were planning to set up a Betta pallida biotope. They are far less aggressive than their cousins from the Betta splendens complex, so keeping them together shouldn't be a problem. Next up is a juvenile snakehead, likely Channa striata, or as it's commonly known, striped snakehead. This one is still pretty small, so the Bettas don't seem bothered. But the larger ones, they will happily hunt and eat these little Bettas. In this habitat, you will also spot Rasbora paviana, or Sidestripe Rasbora, and Barbodes binotatus schooling in loose groups. The juveniles will stick around the same sheltered zones as the Bettas, while the more mature specimens venture into unsheltered, open water areas. There were also shrimp on the sandy substrate. I didn't get a clear ID on them, so if anyone in the comments knows what they are, let us know. So in terms of the conservation status of this species, there's not enough data. If you look up on IUCN Red List, it says it's data deficient, so we don't know what's the trend of these Betta populations, if it's going down, if it's going up. I know it is very rare in the south of Thailand, and that's the only place it exists. Besides the development going on around this river and the farming that I mentioned, that could definitely lead to the decline of this species. There's also invasive species on the river, so I saw some kind of tilapia, I think possibly Nile tilapia, which is an African cichlid if I'm not mistaken, and I mean it could definitely predate on these small Bettas and lead to its decline. Thankfully the Bettas live under the vegetation. They're probably good at hiding from these larger fish. Now, like I said, the area is pretty developed, and that means there's not many access points into the river, a lot of private property, and I don't want to be breaking the law doing this video, so I just found like a little path where I could access the river through that bridge behind me, and I think the only option now is to just walk down the length of the river and see if there's any other interesting areas for Betta fish. I just walked down into a different portion of the river. Now here, I don't think you'll find any Bettas because there's no marginal plants, but I'm here to show you some of the other fish like the Danios, the Rasboras, the Barbs. So I'm going to film in this sort of shallow water with a bit of current to show you those other species. Downstream, the river looked very different. It was flat, shallow, full of pebbles, sticks and leaf litter. Here, Rasbora paviana and pearl Danios were the most common. I also saw a larger striped snakehead lurking between the stones. These predators follow the schooling fish around the habitat. I was so distracted filming down there that I didn't even notice there was some water buffaloes coming in. Oh, I looked behind me, there's massive buffalo behind me. Scared me. And yeah, he went right next to the camera. I wasn't sure if I could even grab my camera. He was right by his face. And yeah, eventually I just took my camera. I didn't want to stay there. I'm not sure how they would react. There was a big buffalo with a small calf. So, I mean, they did come next to me, so I suppose they don't care. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find another point of entry into the river so I can show you some of the other fish. The other challenge trying to film in Thailand is all the stray dogs. Some of them are friendly, some of them are not. Luckily, these two here are very friendly. But yeah, sometimes you just pull onto a new location to film and it's full of stray dogs and they don't want you there. And then you have to go and find a different location. Or you can try to like scare them away. But yeah, these ones here, very friendly. Okay, after getting kicked out of the other spot by the water buffaloes, I find this other sort of point of entry into the river, and the river actually crosses the road. So yeah, I'm not going to attempt to drive on here on my motorbike, so I'm just going to walk past it. But yeah, the river goes over the road. In this section, there's actually some aquatic plants. In my opinion, it's either Elodia or Hydrilla. I'm gonna bet on Hydrilla just because that's native to Southeast Asia. At the road crossing, we find that sandy substrate again, and the water was full of Hydrilla, an aquatic plant. Here I spotted a Phuket zipper loach on the sand and some juvenile dwarf tiger barbs as well. Sadly, there were juvenile tilapias in here too, another invasive species that means trouble for native species in Thailand. Actually, just before we end this video, let me show a place nearby that has some rhombic barbs. It's like a little waterfall. There's hardly any water flowing right now, but you get these massive pools that stay pretty much all year round. And they're full of fish. I suspect the barbs come here to spawn. So this pool behind me is full of rhombic barbs. There's loads of fry, probably thousands of them. And further down I've seen some Rasbora, some gouramis, and possibly there could be Betta pallida here as well. I haven't found any, but it's not far from the other location. Our last stop was a separate river system, a few minutes away. This river starts up high in the mountains and it has many waterfalls. Today it was very dry with just a few drying pools. In them I filmed hundreds, maybe even thousands of Barbodes binotatus. At the time I thought they were rhombic barbs, but later I found out they were actually Barbodes binotatus, a very similar looking species. So there was only barbs and snakeheads in the other area. Now I came further down the stream and there's more water and more vegetation, so should be able to find some gouramis. Further downstream there was a lot more water and a flowing waterfall. Here I found more binotatus, Rasboras, but also croaking gouramis of course. And while editing this video, I also found this colorful guppy, another invasive species introduced here. I didn't notice them at the time, so I don't think they are doing so well in there. I hope you enjoyed learning about Betta pallida, a very poorly documented species. I hope this video shines some light into the secret lives of this species, a very unique Betta from southern Thailand, and I hope you learned more about this biotope and that you enjoyed seeing all these different species. Unfortunately, this will be it for this video. I need to head back to Bangkok very soon. I've been in Thailand for 5 weeks looking at all kinds of different biotopes, different fish, and I hope you're enjoying coming along with me. So now I'm gonna have to head back to the hotel, pack and get back to Bangkok. I'm still gonna look for one more species in Bangkok, Betta mahashayensis. So I'll meet you on the next video when we talk about Betta mahashayensis. That concludes today's video. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden habitats with me, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. There is much more on the horizon. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.